a city in Topeka, United States, a woman named Sheila Bellush was born on October 19, 1962. She grew up in a quiet community, learning the values of family and resilience. As she grew older, Sheila met a man named Alan Blackthorne, whom she married in 1982. Together, they had 2 daughters, Stevie and Daryl. At first, their life seemed ordinary, a young couple building a family and a home. But over time, the marriage began to strain. Arguments became frequent, and tension grew in the household. Reports later indicated that Alan could be controlling and sometimes violent, and Sheila felt the weight of this strain every day. After several years, the marriage became unbearable. Sheila and Alan decided to divorce, which led to custody disputes and emotional conflict. She was determined to protect her daughters and start a new chapter in her life, even as tension with her ex-husband continued. Sheila eventually found love again with Sheila Bellush, whom she married in 1993. Together, they had quadruplets in 1995, giving Sheila a total of 6 children, 2 older daughters from her first marriage and 4 younger children. Sheila and Jamie decided to leave Texas and move to Sarasota, Florida, seeking peace and a fresh start for the family. Sheila focused on creating a stable home, nurturing her children, and moving forward from the difficult past. However, Alan Blackthorne did not disappear from her life. Over time, he became increasingly obsessed with locating Sheila and monitoring her life in Florida. He reportedly hired a private investigator to find her. Despite her careful attempts to protect herself, the shadow of her first marriage remained. Though Sheila tried to live quietly, Alan's obsession escalated. Friends and family noticed warning signs, odd calls, messages, and attempts to intimidate her. Alan Blackthorne began planning something far more dangerous. He enlisted acquaintances to help him track Sheila and, eventually, orchestrate an attack against her. This part of the story reveals how obsession and anger can fester over time. It wasn't a crime of opportunity, it was premeditated. Sheila, focused on her family and safety, remained unaware that danger was closing in.
On November 7, 1997, Sheila was at home with her children. There were no warnings, no signs that this day would change everything. A man hired by Alan Blackthorne entered her home. Though he reportedly noticed her warmth and care for her children, he carried out the act anyway. Sheila was killed in her own home, leaving behind 6 children and a devastated family. The community was shocked. Sheila had moved so far to start fresh, and yet the long arm of obsession had reached her. Law enforcement quickly began investigating the crime. Thanks to witness reports and the tracking of the perpetrator, the hired man was eventually captured and brought to justice.
Following Sheila's death, the investigation revealed the full conspiracy. The man who committed the murder, along with his accomplices, were arrested and convicted. Alan Blackthorne was eventually sentenced to life without parole. Sheila's children grew up without their mother, but her story has been remembered through books, documentaries, and public discussions about domestic disputes, obsession, and true crime. Her life, though tragically cut short, reminds us that courage, love, and protection for one's family are powerful legacies. Even in loss, her story continues to teach and warn others.
Like, subscribe and follow for more.